Let's check out our menu, see how many evolutions everyone even has. Okay, I forgot you can't open the menu inside a house. That's such a strange choice to make. In focus, it hears every sound on its hands. It pierces the enemy with the shining blades on its hands. It evades attacks and strikes the enemy with its whip like two-tail. It has a beak bigger than its body. It's hard to keep its balance. It floats with the force of magnetism to keep its balance. It uses incredibly cold water that gives the enemy frostbitance. With its unique angelic figure, it's a mystery how its defense goes up. Okay. It hops instead of actually flying. Watch out for its riveting noise. It will headbutt with the three horns on its head. It's kind of hurts eyes up. With its sword-shaped wings, it slashes the enemy's end of hurts eyes up. It uses its rotating drill to attack its enemy's end of eyes up. I don't even. Which one is the head? The one that blows fire. Resembles a beach ball. If you're unprepared, it will snap at you. Oh, so this one doesn't have a level up evolution. That's a shame. Penelope's base form is the cutest of all three. It can create smoke screen with a thing on its back. Boosts defensive power and it blesses its partners. We're gonna try another cheat which said you can get like all monsters. So there's no point going through all these to try and find. Let's just randomly enter in my favourite number and see what happens. Okay, that's apparently monster number 74. I was enter the code in to like get every monster, but apparently the code to get every monster like overwrites every monster you have, so it would actually delete Corn Boy from our party, and we get like a different Corn Boy and stuff. It says it filled up your monster inventory with every monster, but the new monsters have no names and their all stats are all defaults and stuff, and it overwrites any monsters you actually already have. So let's have a go on that, and then let's just reload back over because like, come on, man. I don't want to actually delete the existence of Corn Boy. For some reason, it seems Muscovy is like listed at number 1 in the values, which is weird because you'd expect it would actually be like already Rex. So, and then we have its terrifying evolution. I'm so sorry we turned you into that Corn Boy. And then we have its less terrifying evolution, the index. Let's go through and let's just see the descriptions of everyone and have a laugh at them. However, they don't actually appear in the decks, even though we've got them. Nope. So there's the ability to get every danger in your party, but not in your index. I don't even. I'm done. I can't even be bothered with more things. Let's just browse through all the ones we've got and have a look at them at least over here. Even if you won't be able to know any information about them, see they're hilariously mistranslated everything. So that's one of my favourite designs. I just like that. It's like a snail, but if a snail was made out of component parts which had nothing to do with snails. It's just like if a mammal evolved to be a snail somehow by hiding inside a human skull. And its evolution is kind of just the same, but it just adds some horns, which is kind of boring. I like that one. It's a cute little lava. Oh, that's the one that evolves into an annoying bug that kept getting summoned by everybody. I do kind of like how adorable its first one has nothing to do with any of the others, and it's just like a lump. Some of these evolutions feel like they don't really fit. That one's really cute. I also like the weird composition of like 4 legs, like kind of weird centaur stuff, and it's all fluffy and nice, pleasing colours. That's kind of boring. It just evolves into a more humanoid though. Yay! It's like an emu. That's cute. That reminds me of actually a fan Pokemon I made which looked very similar to that when I was a kid. It was called Gambal, but spelled like Gambal, and it started off as me imagining like an evolution for Chansey, which was like caused by like something or other in the game center in Pokemon, because I always thought it was a shame that there wasn't like a unique Pokemon to the game center, and instead it was just you get Porygon. I was like, oh, Porygon isn't very much themed about gambling, so why are they choosing to put Porygon there? And I thought, like, what if I made a Pokemon that was like a man-made Pokemon created by Team Rocket to go there? Because I mean, Porygon is a man-made Pokemon who wasn't created by Team Rocket to go in the game corner. So I'm just like, what if they had done it? What if they'd made like a fake Pokemon which is like designed to be a marketable mascot or whatever? So the monster I made up was like, it started off as just a recolor of Chansey. It was like evil Chansey, because like Chansey, Gambal, that's where my brain went to. But then I changed it into being like a little mascot creature, which looked a lot like this. It was like a little bunny rabbit thing with like ears, which looked like exactly like that, and with like no front legs and only back legs. And then it was wearing like a little Team Rocket t-shirt, which was adorable. It was just like a little like mascot t-shirt, and you could collect them in a bunch of different colors and stuff. Like they basically programmed this Pokemon to be like the perfect mascot. It's like, oh, it comes in a bunch of different colours, it's useless in battle, but you can collect them all. It's like, it had like 5 different shiny forms or whatever, and it's like, and they came in little outfits, and like, you can dress it up in little outfits. And then, like, when you get into the Rocket base, you would fight ones which are all wearing like Team Rocket outfits, and they'd be like, no! That's actually quite cute, like, it just evolves into like the same thing but bipedal. Oh, that's really cute, I like that, that's an adorable design. Like, I know it's a weird thing to say, but I wish like succubus enemies looked like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's so common in like games to just have, oh, here's the succubus and here's the incubus. The incubus looks like a monster, but the succubus just looks like a sexy human. And I'm like, if you have like a succubus monster, you should like design it with traits of a succubus, but make it still a monster. And that's why I like this, because like, also like, if you're gonna make a monster version of a succubus for a child-friendly game, it shouldn't still be like, you know, overly sexualized. Like, if you could do a design like this, which like, it has design traits which make you look at it and go, oh, that's taken from traditional depictions of succubus or whatever, but also it's not sexualized because it's like a kid's game. Like, that's a good idea of what you could do for that. Like, as opposed to, like, for example, Salazzle from Pokemon, that Pokemon still makes me really uncomfortable. Like, Salazzle and Lopunny, and like, Lopunny is like, it really bugged me its first sprite in Diamond and Pearl made it look like it had big boobs, where it was actually supposed to be its hands, whereas like in later, I'm not sure if they retconned that to be its hands, but it was always supposed to be its hands, it was just an unfortunate pose. But in later generations, a bit that looked like it was like, it had big boobs with like an underboob top on, it's just supposed to be its hands, it was just holding me in a strange pose that made it look like that. But in Salazzle, it's like if you took like the bad misunderstanding of Lopunny and made it an actual Pokemon. Because, like, Salazzle's actual design isn't particularly, like, super sexualized or anything. It looks like a realistic lizard which just has, like, wide hips or whatever. But all its animations are, like, really, like sexualized lady from, like, any other game forever. And it makes me so uncomfortable because, like, it makes me even more uncomfortable if you just had a Pokemon that was, like, a sexualized lady. Because, like, it's more uncomfortable to have, like, a Pokemon which is, like, it looks like any other Pokemon, but it has sexualized animations. It's just so weird and creepy. And I know, like, 100% I'm fine with everyone in the furry fandom who, like lights up Pokemon in that way and draws art of it or whatever, like, because, like, you're drawing an Anthro or Pokemon or whatever, but, like, in the terms of Pokemon, it's just a Pokemon, like, it's an animal, it's a non-sentient being, so, like, having it be, like, sexualized and having humans find it sexy feels creepy. It feels like they're hitting on a literal dog as opposed to, like, a furry, which is, like, a furry is, like, a sentient animal and stuff. Like, I have so many friends who are furries, I have no problem with any of that. It's just, when you're like, no, my character's not a furry, it's just a dog which does sexy animations, I'm just like, why did you do this? Why did you do this? Why did you do this? No. So if Pokemon was like, hey, by the way, Salazzle is sentient and can talk and whatever, and like, then I'd be fine with it having a sexy dances. Even if me personally, I still don't find any appeal in it because I'm ace as hell, but whatever. Anyway, that's my conclusion. It's like, why I like the succubat monster in Dragon Quest, because, like, it's a succubus-themed monster which isn't just a sexy human or anything. It's like, it's not really sexualized at all, it's just got design traits, like I said, design traits in common with, like, a succubus monster and stuff, which is what I like, because Dragon Quest already has plenty of monsters which just look like sexy humans anyway. But in Dragon Quest, it doesn't really matter, because in Dragon Quest, every monster is sentient and can talk and can, like, fully, like, communicate with humans and whatever, so if anyone wants to have sex with those, who cares? But, like, yeah. I'm going off topic anyway. I really like this one where it's just like a weird floating gelatinous heart with like a demon head. I mean, that's my favourite of all of them. That's cool. It reminds me of Cleo and sea slugs, which are cool. In real life, they actually look kind of like because you always see pics of them, and that's why they got called sea angels, is because you see pics of them, they look all pretty and cool and cute and all that, but, like, actually the bit which looks like their head is actually their mouth, and when it opens up, it looks like devil horns like that, which is, it's like its teeth pop out and they look like devil horns, which is actually hilarious, and, like, Cleo and sea slugs are actually carnivorous and they eat other slugs, so, like, of all, like, sea slugs to pick and go, this is a cute one, why didn't you pick one of the neuter branches which are actually harmless? Oh, that's a good scrungly dragon, pal. I like the colours. I think like pale pink and turquoise just go really well together. Apparently there's a real life snake, I think it's called the bubblegum boa or something. The bubblegum corn snake, which has similar colours to that. And then it just gets all boring, and Anthropomorphic and has like a less cool costume. But then I like the fluffy version. That's cool. It's a fluffy dragon. I like. But that one's boring too because it's just like humanoid, but now it's got a bit of armor on it. I think they should have kept the color scheme in the first form. I'm assuming those are all an evolutionary line because again, can't tell because we don't have any other descriptions. I like this weird little like four-legged like spider thingy, which isn't really a spider. It's cool. It's neat. And it turns into a morph, which is a little bit more boring, but still cool. Oh, that's cool. It's like a manticore, but with cool. Again, turquoise and blue go really well together. But that's more of a turquoise and pink go really well together. That's more like a purpley pink and a dark turquoise, which again, unique and cool. Sets it apart from the previous one. And it just turns into a big flamey sun thing. That's actually I can forgive it. That's good enough. The colour scheme is still pretty good on that one. Still prefer the first colour scheme, but that's pretty good. Don't know what that is. That's a bit of an incomprehensible design. Just looks like a flower with eyes on it, like a flower bud. And that's a kiwi thing that we had before. What's that turn into? It turns into whatever the hell that is. I guess like just the previous one, but it's wearing some sort of mask over its head. That's strange. But anyway. Or it turns into a really big chumbled lad. Oh, that's cute! It looks like Carbuncle from Final Fantasy. And it turns into the same thing, but it's like its gem is on stilts. Is that two monsters? Is it just like a gem with legs standing on top of it? Or is it really like it grows biological stilts to carry the gem with? Oh, it can turn into a fluffy bird. That's my favourite of the three. I like that. I like how its evolutions are kind of like, oh, it's a bunch of different creatures with the same sort of face on it. That's a good and interesting idea for evolutions. I don't know if that's still evolution of the previous one because it doesn't seem to look similar at all. That's probably a new line, right? That's interesting. Like it turns from humanoid into less human. That's better compared to all the other ones which are turning from less humanoid into more humanoid. Become centaur is good. Also, I appreciate whenever centaur designs put like some sort of fluff or something over where the groin would be on a human. So I know it is a bit disconcerting and strange to have the groin be where the head would be on the horse. If that makes any sense, because like it makes you feel like, oh, did the centaurs just not have bums or something? Well, I'm assuming that like wherever the centaur's bum part is, it would be on the bum part of the animal or whatever. But I don't know. It feels better like if it's a humanoid creature, like you want it to be wearing some sort of trousers, even if it makes no sense because they don't have anything there to cover up. I don't know. It looks more aesthetically pleasing and makes them feel more like a blend of humanoid and animals for them to like have some sort of trousers or skirt in a place which would be the neck of the animal, I guess. It's more like a tie. But anyway. Oh, that's cool. I don't know what that is, but I like it. I cannot really describe it. It's some sort of like fluffy yeti ghost with like a very blank and strange expression and a floating crown above its head. Oh, I like that. It's some sort of even more spooky ghost. And then it's like its crown is turned into a small fried chicken. Or maybe that's what it looks like underneath the thing. That's cute. Or maybe that's a whole new evolution line. Yeah, I'm not too fond of that, but it just seems like I sort of just threw a bunch of things together. Just seems like I like squiggly snail-looking things, but that just seems like, oh, we just doodled like everything we could do and then just put the same vague colour scheme on it. Don't know what that is, can't really pass its anatomy very well in a scrungled sprite, but still pretty cool. And it just turns into like a jet engine? Oh, that looks cool. It reminds me of Stingmon from Digimon, but like with cool fluffy wing arms. Again, not hard to pass where the head or anything else is on that. Oh, it's a cherubim thingy. We've already seen it has its cute looking mermaid form, which for some reason shoots lasers out of its butt. And we've got its scrungly angel form, which is really cool. Oh, winged whale pal. Oh, I like that one better. That's a cool colour scheme. The yellow and little dots. And like a whale with little like stick legs and like a big shell for a tail. That's an interesting design. I like how they have like the green highlights are also like a beard which is shaped like the baleen teeth that whales have. That's interesting. That one's not so interesting. It's just a whale with legs. And like it's really tall. Here is Scrungled Frog. What does Scrungled Frog evolve into? Not so much of a fan of that actually. Like it went from like ugly cute into just like it just looks very sad. Like a slight change of an expression makes it go from like oh that's just what its face looks like, it's just a very strange thing, it's not actually grumpy or anything, to like it's actually grumpy, it's actually having a bad day. And that makes me sad. I do like a design of the little tentacle on its head. Like they're well shaded with like the globules. It makes me think they're like fruits and then like it can take them off and eat them or something. Maybe it's a nice friend that just like grows apples from its head for all its friends. And it bakes apple pies for them. That's a little thing that kept kicking our asses. And it turns into another thing that keeps kicking our asses probably. It turns into a really, really long guy. I'm not sure how to pass that. Is it like, is it like its whole body is long and like wizardly and it's like wrapping its wings around itself like a cloak? Or is it really just a really, really, really long body with like a tiny skirt around the feet and then nothing? Not sure. I would really like to see official art of these monsters because some of them do get a bit hard to pass in the sprites. Or it's a little bumblebee. I like our little bumblebee. Was that an evolution of that or is it a whole new mon? Whole new mon probably because it evolves with a large one. I like its evolution even more. It looks even cuter. It's just the same thing but like we've added a little tail to it and its wings are even more fluffy and cute. I love it. Absolutely not sure to pass that one. It looks like the eater from Digimon Cyber Sleuth, which was like deliberately designed to be impossible to pass where its head is or anything. That's cool. It's like a little jester pal. Oh, Mola Mola! That just looks like how real Mola Molas look, but it's yellow. Like, they already look that ridiculous as like a real animal. It turns into an actual sun. I like that. That's a good idea for an evolution, because it is called, it's nicknamed the sunfish. So having it turn into an actual sun is cool. Also, that expression is just so hilariously, over-dramatically grumpy. I like that. It makes me think that it's just like a theatre magician or something. Oh, that's cool. It's like, I'm not sure, quite sure how to pass that. Is that like a squid when it's like, yeah, or is it like a flower with like a really long nose? Oh, it is its nose. Oh, I see. That's cool. It evolves and then the mouth opens up so you can see it's a nose. That's cool. I like it a lot better knowing it's a nose. I was thinking, like, is it just a squid with funny colours? But knowing that's like actually a beak makes it like a completely unique and funny fantasy animal. Now, like, the weird spinning wings reminds me of, I don't know if I'm sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but like, Buer, or Buer, or something like that. It's a classical demon from, the Arsgoatia, I think. I know they showed it in, a few video games. It seems to be like a common, like, well-liked monster for video games. And it so rarely ever gets, like, actually edited in any way, because it's like, it's one of those designs that's already perfect. Like, it appeared in Final Fantasy VIII, and they were just like, okay, we'll add like 2 sets of extra wings to this thing which is already made of entirely of rotating wings. It was cool. Oh, and actually can turn. Well, that's an interesting idea, is to have a monster that can be interpreted as either a squid or like a floating bird head with a little mouth. Have it evolve into one which is a bird head and one which is actually a squid. That's a cool idea. Yeah, here's Cornfriend. Let's see what its natural evolution is. Oh, it's just that. Okay, I'm glad we didn't actually waste all our time grinding for it because, like, again, Cornfriend's first form is already perfect. Like, I feel like that's just an attempt to, like do, like they do in Pokemon. It's like, oh, well, let's upgrade it by making it bigger and, like, I guess kind of changing the colours around a bit. Whereas, like, again, already perfect. Like, having the yellow be where the head is like, it already looks good and it makes it look like a corn. It has, like, a coherent design idea, whereas like having the yellow just be a spot on its belly, it's like, now what really is that? It's just some sort of triangle. And giving it them spiky hands makes it like, I guess, like less simplified and less cute. Because it really is just exactly the same thing, but it's taller and they changed the colours and they made its fingers long. I think that's my favourite of its evolution, because it stays the same, like, design for the body and just, like, adds some nice wings around it, and like, gives it a little coat. It looks like it's wearing a little coat like Dr. Snap's coat. And then that's my least favourite of its evolutions, because, like, it's just make a robot version of it. Like, it's still, like, that's, like better than every other robot in anything ever, but compared to the majesty of Cornfriend, it's like, you've kind of downgraded the Cornfriend. Like, I would like that to be the evolution of, like, literally any other robot monster in any other game, but I don't want it to be the evolution of something that was already perfect. Like, I would like every robot to turn into Robot Cornfriend, but I would also like Cornfriend to especially don't know what that is. Is the red thing its butt? Is the spiky thing its head? I don't know. I'm just pretty sure there are possibly arms and legs somewhere in that. Again, not sure what that is, but, like, at least now I can tell where the hands are, because, and, like, is it, like, some sort of, like, equivalent of, like, a naga tail, but it's, like, just a big orb? Is it got an avocado for a tail? It's like an avocado centaur. Which implies that the top half is a man, but I'm not really sure what the top half even is. That's a cool and ridiculous idea for anything ever. I like that. I approve of this, like, in the leagues of, like, designs I cannot pass at all because I don't understand. That is the highest league of them. Huh. See, is that like an ostrich, but you put the mouth at the bottom of it and you made, like, the head be like a horn instead? Because that's an interesting idea. Not so much of a fan of the colour scheme, though. Yeah, that's what it is! Actually, I like that its evolutionary form more, because it makes it more clear what the design is, because you can see the face more clearly and everything. Again, not a fan of the colour scheme, but I think making like the weird horn thing be more fluffy and makes it more unique. And also adding a little like eyes top, it makes me feel like, is that a fake head, or is it like literally a monster with 2 heads, which is cool. Oh, that's cute! It just looks like a little adorable nudibranch, but very spiky. Like if you crossed a nudibranch with like one of those very spiky melons. And that's adorable too, it's got like majestic lovely hair. That's cute, I like it. Spiky and fluffy somehow go together really well. Not sure what that is. Especially not sure what that is. It just looks like exactly the same thing, but it just stood up. That's not so good in evolution. That's pretty cool. It's just like a weird like biological car motorbike thing with a Minotaur's head, and that's just neat. That's a combination of ridiculous nonsense that I can get behind. Penelope, the Penelope. Not so much a fan of its evolutions. I think these are the only evolutions I had, and both of them are like inferior to the first one. They're both like, they don't really like look like they evolved from it. They just kind of like take the same basic concept of like, it's a thing which has 2 heads, and they're both like completely different redesigns of the idea of a thing with 2 heads. And that one is like the most boring, because like, it's not even a thing with 2 heads anymore. Like the back head has regressed into just being like a weird little shell. It's a shame. Like, it's a design that would look okay as it's on its own, but as an evolution, not so much. I think that's my least favourite, because, like, I like abstract designs, but in this sense, like, it's not one of the kind of abstract designs I like. It just feels more like we just shoved a bunch of ideas together that we didn't really check if they, like, go together well or anything, rather than the kind of good abstract which, like, we put thought into it. That's actually really adorable. It's just, like, a really, really stubby unicorn. It looks kind of like a seahorse version of a unicorn, if that makes sense. Like, if you had a unicorn and applied the design traits of a seahorse onto it, like having like a stubby version that kind of floats rather than walks, and like has little clumpy things. Like I can see like it looks like the spikes you have on the back of a seahorse, but it's all made of like fluffy hair instead. That's cool. That's a cool idea. Also, it's very cute and marketable. And that's just neat evolution. I love how its evolution stays being like something that's mimicking a unicorn rather than actually being a unicorn. I like that. And just the entire concept of just a unicorn just papping around on little legs is hilarious. It's like a regular horse has an abundance of legs and no arms. This one is just all arms and no legs. I love it. I like how it combines like a traditionally majestic monster with just a very silly character design trait. It somehow works so well it becomes badass. Like, you'd think that something running around on little arms would be inherently hilarious, but it actually looks really, really cool. That one not so much though, it's just they've added chainsaws to it everywhere. Seems like a bit of an afterthought of an evolution, I think. Oh, that's neat. I love its face. Again, it's got the classic Telefang face with like a little beaky mouth and those particular eyes. This one makes me think it should be an Ozzy evolution, but it clearly isn't because it's not ordered that way. Yeah, don't like on evolution, it just sort of stretches it out and makes its face less cute. That one's pretty nice. I like how it's like nice and armoured. Still prefer the first form though. A lot of these I'm preferring the first form. Oh, a real seahorse. I like that. I like it's a scrungled seahorse that's very not cute. I think it's based on the leafy sea dragon, which is a very good and cool seahorse. And there is a Pokemon based, I can't remember the name of it off my head, but that's one of my favourite Pokemons. Oh, I love how its evolution is just like super majestic and cool. It becomes a whole tree. I love that. That's a cool evolutionary concept hypothetically for like a leafy sea dragon in real life. I also like how it's got like 2 little arms put on, which is cool. It's I think they're arms, they might be like bird legs. Oh, I like that evolution. Again, pink and turquoise go really well together. So even though our evolution has more of a boring body shape, it's just become like Nessie shaped, I like the colours a lot better. Like, I wish that you could kind of like apply the palette to the previous evolutions. That would be a cool idea for like a shiny equivalent in a game, is to like just be able to like take the colours from one monster and apply them to another. That would be cool. I know in Monster Crowd you can technically do that, but like it's it doesn't work so good in that game because it's very limited palettes, because that game is trying to mimic the GBC aesthetic. Oh, just a little fiery version. I guess that one has a lot of different evolutions. Okay, that's kind of weird because it's like a hole, there's like a 1 pixel hole in its design, and as you can see the background keeps going through. I feel That's probably a mistake, 'cause it's unlikely it just has a big hole in it. 'Cause it looks like it's supposed to be a mouth, so they just missed a pixel on it. But still pretty cool, it's like a little roundabout mushroom. That's neat. Oh, I like that better, it's like a cool wanderer mushroom. Looks like Karibo got badass. Oh, that's cool. I don't know what that evolution's from or before, what that evolves from or comes to or anything, but I like that. It's just like a random adorable blob with tiny adorable eyes. Its face looks like the Miffy the rabbit. That's what it looks like, and it looks so cute. I like the little yellow spots too. This looks like a monster that Dr. Snapped would like. Strange evolution. Are those evolutions or are they just unrelated monsters? I would assume they're evolutions because they have very similar colour schemes, but they have nothing in common except the colour scheme. But it's neat. It's like a Michelin Man crossed with like an onion, and it has squiggly arms. On its own, I like our design. As an evolution, kind of prefer the first one. Don't know what that is, but it's really cute. I love it. I really love that. It's like a circus tent made of plant, and I'm assuming a little dot down the bottom is like its nose poking out or something, which is really cute. Oh, I guess it is the nose poking out because that's like what it looks like when it grows up big enough. Not so much of a fan of it. It looked cuter when it was like abstract and silly like that. Growing up and just being like a rather general monster. This cactus looks so sad. Like, I love its design, but why does it look so sad? You should be happy to be looking so cool and funny. It's a cactus with a cartoon, cross with a cartoon octopus. It just looks so funny. It looks like it would wiggle and be happy, but it's not happy. It's just very, very sad. I'm just like, potential kind of missed, but still nice colour scheme. Maybe it's sad because it looks so cute, but nobody can hug it. Not sure if that's an evolution or not. Not sure what the design is. Reminds me of Cradily, which is a good Pokemon. Oh, that's cute. That looks like it should be the mascot for the game, but it's not. It just shows how good Telefang is that it doesn't go for, like, the most basic designs for mascots, where it's just, like, some cute thing with not too many design elements and stuff. Like, their mascot, they went crazy and they made Crypto the mascot instead, which Crypto is still adorable, but Crypto is adorable in a unique way, with, like, a detailed design and everything. It feels like it would be a mascot for any other game. But its design is still cool. I just tend to prefer things which aren't just, like, the only appeal they have is cute and nothing else. I'm assuming it's an evolution because it has the same face, but why did it turn into an octopus, like, sausage? That looks a lot like the thing that they do in Japan where, like, they cut a sausage into the shape of an octopus to be a cute treat to give to kids. That's cute. I like that. So it's like an octopus that evolves to look like a sausage mimicking an octopus. But it wasn't an octopus. And it can turn into a mandrake. Oh, that's my favourite of the three of them. I just like a good classic design for a mandrake. I like that. Like, I know, like, classically mandrakes are supposed to look like humans and stuff when you pull them up. I prefer when people, like, redesign mandrakes to look like some sort of actual monster. That's a good one. I like that. Good colour scheme, not too fond of a design. That honestly kind of looks like someone you would see in a furry nightclub. And I don't mean that as an insult in any way. I'm just thinking it's kind of hilarious how a game could accidentally make something that would so much fit into that particular archetype when it's clearly not intended to. Oh, that's a weird thick boy that we saw running around. Again, not so sure about the design. Strange idea to have like a really, really wide guy with like really, really thick thighs, but go ahead, mate, go ahead. That's a cool design. But very strange, but still cool. We just enhanced the chin and removed everything else. Now it's just a big floating chin head. So, it's a cow head attached to, like, little tiny dancing legs that evolves into a cow head attached to a caterpillar, which evolves into a cow head attached to... That should be the evolution for the one we saw ages ago, which was also a cow head attached to wheels. A little pharaoh squid. That's cute. That's not so cute when they swap out the pharaoh hat for like a weird saw blade pirate hat. That's cool when they swapped out the hat for like some sort of bizarre like disc tower. That just looks really cool. Like they traded in cuteness for coolness. Oh, that's adorable. Oh, I'm really fond of like designs where it's like really wide eyes, but like also really beady eyes and a little tiny mouth. I don't know why that's just very appealing to me and very cute. I like its squiggles. This is a good scrungly. This is like the good thing I like. I like monsters which have like creepy or abstract elements to them, but are also very cute. Oh, that's cute. It evolves into like more of a standard mascot thing, but still, it's a very interesting idea for a mascot to be like a dog with flames for ears. Again, good colour scheme. Again, turquoise and pink go well. Like, here they're blending out to be a bit more like bluish turquoise and like reddish pink, but still, great colour scheme, always good, always great. That one, not so fond of. It just feels like, again, like, we just added a few more random assorted character design elements to it, which didn't really have any sort of thought put into, like, whether they go together or not. It just looks like the idea of, like, an upgraded version of the previous one, but you know, like sometimes in Pokemon games, it's like, we upgraded it by just, like, adding a bunch of random things to it, rather than, like, actually making it look cooler, which, like, I think it's a bit of a shame. Not sure what that is, but I want to hug it. It's a little chumby lad. It's a little chumby lad with little squiggle heads. I like it. It's good. It's like if a tadpole was like a cross-on at the same time, and also had like a human man face on it, with a little like Rudolph nose. Like the opposite of Rudolph is Rudolph was blue and had a red nose. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, Rudolph with your nose so normal coloured. Well, won't you guide our sled tonight?" And Rudolph is like, "I can't. I have no legs because I am a squiggly tadpole man." It just evolves to be wrinkly. Become grandpa. Become grandpa. Or it evolves to mimic a pine tree. That's actually adorable. The two forms of aging gracefully. You either become a grandpa or you become Christmas. Again, a good scrungly thing. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm not sure what it is in a way that it looks really cool. Again, what they just said. Does it have like a candle wick on its back? Again, good colour schemes, good neat. Like, it's like a little scrungly thing. It's like it's something that's filling the evolutionary niche of a pond skipper bug while not being a bug or anything. And then it just turns into a balloon. That's adorable. All three of those, excellent. Don't really look like they go together aside from like having the same body composition, which is interesting. It makes me think like they would make more sense as like slide evolutions for the same thing rather than being like one higher than the other. If that makes any sense. Or like three different variants of the same Pokemon, like, well, not Pokemon Denju. But like if it was like here are the three genders. You get to be Scrunkly Orb, or Hair on Fire, or an entire air balloon. Neat Manta Ray Knight's colours, pretty much a basic design. Like people just tend to have a Manta Ray but put its eyes where like the eyes are not on a Manta Ray. Decent, not quite good enough to fall in with the Denjus. It's not abstract and silly enough as the rest of the Denju. I don't know, that's just, again, kind of a pretty normal lobster monster. It's just like it's got a nice appealing head with a like kind of hood design over it. Now that is a good lobster monster. I wish I could have that with the better colour scheme of the previous evolution. Like that's good. Like that's an exaggerated lobster to be like super cool and awesome. It's got like a huge, massive helmet head that reminds you of Angemon from Digimon, and like the claws have become wings, and it's wild. I love that. Oh, I love that especially. That's what they answer my prayers about having a better colour scheme. I like that. It's like the same thing, but it's like a defensive, like a floating magical angel version. I love the design of the little accents on its wings, the little glowy things. Those look cool. Actually, that reminds me of Betamon from Digimon, but like a fishy version. They could be interdimensional pals. Oh, that's neat. Oh, I like that. I like that. That's like one of the only times where like making something like just stand on its hind legs and be more humanoid shaped just made it better. I like that. It reminds me of a dragon fruit, but like if it became a real dragon. I love it. It's cute. And a little flappy wing. It looks like it should be an evolution for Punica, which is strange. Sometimes like some of these evolutions seem like they should be an evolution for a different monster. I wonder if they were rearranged in development or anything, or it's just a coincidence. Oh, this one is my favourite. I've already seen sprites of this one on the Telefang wiki when they were first posting about starting doing a fan translation patch. This one, I think it's like Tectus or something like that. It's one of my favourites. This is such a cool like abstract design. I think its evolution I like slightly better. The evolution like this one. It's like kind of like squiggly, and I like them both equally. They're both really good. I really like them. They're both really good. They're just really good. I really like them. Again, not sure what it is, what it's based on or anything. It's a good scrunkly squingle. I like it, and the color scheme is good. It's like black and yellow, but in like they grey down slightly blue with the black, so it fits in much better. And it's got those fluffy wings. It's got like the big squiggly nose with lots of eyes on it. It's just really cute. I just really love it. That's a good Eldritch pal. Its evolution is just like a different variation of the same design, it's just a bit longer and all that. They're both good, they're both good. They honestly look like the same thing, like squished itself into a different pose. Oh, that's a cute little thing. That's a cute little tadpole. That cute little tadpole has become a leaf. I like that idea, like it's flying on a leaf, it's cute. And the colour scheme I like better than the first one. And sometimes it can just become blob. It can become blob. All three of those, good. Great in their own way. Wouldn't be able to decide. Oh, that's one of the ones from the first game, the weird cat robot thing. Apparently this was popular, but I'm not particularly a fan of it. At least I'm glad that like the popular cat monster was like a more creative and interesting, strange design than they are in usual games. It's not just a cat, it's a weird cat robot thing. It's neat, but again, not one of my favourites. Strange ninja thing, not really a fan. Oh, Easy Dog! Easy Dog was from the first game too. It's just for no reason there's a dog with a motorbike. I can appreciate the wild creativity that went into this design decision. Some sort of dragon thing. A creative and interesting design for a dragon, but I'm not so. It's still mostly like a traditional dragon, just got like a weird like flying squirrel side wings sort of thing going on. Good, but not my kind of thing personally. Now that's my kind of thing, having it have a random egg on its back connected to like wires and stuff. I have no idea what the design is supposed to be, but it looks cool. Oh, that's cute! I like that! I like didn't you seem to have like two design traits? It's like either we have like the big adorable particular style of eyes and then like a beaky mouth, or we have like no mouth and big adorable bug eyes on something that's very fluffy and very not a bug. It's a very unique trait to this particular series, and like almost always it looks really cute. I love that. Again, abstract design, not really sure what it's going for. It look some sort of like bug werewolf, but it's cool. Yeah, it's just a centaur on fire, not one of my faves. I think that one was also in the first game. Oh, these two apparently are, they're promotional monsters that were added for, like, some sort of, like, Japanese mascot for something else. I don't know, but not much a fan, they're very simple. Oh, and then there's Sugori, he was also from the first game. That's the one that kept kicking our asses. And its evolution isn't as cool as the first form. Like, whenever something is like, oh, let's take, like, an uncommon animal and turn into a more normal animal, I'm just like, eh. Like, I like the idea of, like, a weird weasel otter thing more than I like, oh, it's just some sort of lion now. And then it becomes some sort of lion, but really complicated design that's hard to pass in a sprite. Then Punica! Punica, again, its evolution's like the sort of thing where it's just like we upgraded it by adding, like, randomized traits which don't necessarily fit or anything. Like, its first evolution, it's cool and neat, but then, like, okay, we just took the mouth off for no reason and changed the tentacle into arms. Like, its evolutions have such minor changes, but they completely change how you look at the design, sort of. Oh, we didn't have its extra evolutions. One of its other evolutions was just like, oh, we made it have, like, 12 tentacles instead of 1. And I'm just like, yeah, you made such small changes to it. Like I know it's like you can't improve on perfection, but also, like, by trying so minimally, you just ended up making it worse. Then Ozzy, which in the first game was pink and now it's sort of a burgundy colour, which is a shame. I kind of preferred its original colour, but in both ways, cute, adorable, and lovely. Is that what it evolves into in this game? Because I don't think it evolved into that in the first game. It doesn't look very similar at all, but it's got the same colour scheme, so maybe it is supposed to be an evolution. Again, like I was saying, like, take things as an unusual animal, turn into a more normal animal. But in this case, like, more normal is subjective. It's just like a fluffy lion rhino as opposed to like a trilobite. Oh, that's like a nice classical dragon. Like, again, like a classical, like, kind of like angel dragon. Not too much to say about its design, but I like the colour scheme they picked for it. That's good. Don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. Don't know what it is. It looks kind of like Blaziken, but with a worse colour scheme. And an orb. It's just an orb. Oh, it's Cyclone Guy. He was also from the first. I really hope that Manster is in this one. Oh, that, I really like that. It's a cool idea for, like, a jester monster. It's like a water jester, but with, like, bone arms. That's so cool. I like that. I think it's also one that was in the first game. I can't remember what it's called because it wasn't a design that really stood out to me. I like how it's got the weird little shell over its head. I'm assuming it's the evolution of that one because, like, again, turning from, like, a unique sort of, like, uncommon monster, like some sort of, like, beetle bug, but, like a dog thing into just, like, okay, it's like a minotaur now. Don't know whether it's kind of a simple design, just an orb-shaped fluffy thing. It's neat. Again, turns into a more ordinary design when it evolves. Oh, what? I think that's like a water bar or something. I just remember its name is similar to Water Boo from Dragon Quest. That was kind of cute. Like, yeah, it kind of looks similar to Water Boo from Dragon Quest, but like, apparently it's supposed to be a monkey, but it doesn't really look like a monkey. Apparently, the only way you can tell it's supposed to be a monkey is because it has like a bare bottom, like a baboon on the other end, which is kind of funny. But it looks like some sort of weird fluff of an egg on its head, and it's nice, and I like it. I especially like the detail of it having little elf ears. It just really brings the whole design together for some reason. That's what it evolves into. It doesn't fit it at all. Like, that looks more like an actual take of, like, oh, it's a fluffy monster monkey. It looks like it's trying too hard to be cool, which means it doesn't really fit as an evolution for something cute. That's also a thing I find in, like, my opinions of, like, monster designs and stuff. It's like, I feel like, you know, have a monster in one stage that has a certain sort of appeal. Like, either make its evolution have the same appeal, or make it, like, have options to have, like, an evolution with the same sort of appeal, or one that isn't. Because, like, there's so many situations where, like, two monsters, like, they both look equally cool in their own way, but, like, if you caught it because you liked a certain thing about it, it sucks to have that thing taken away when it evolves. It just feels like make it a separate monster then. Like, if you change the colour scheme of that, it could just be a different monster. Oh, that's another friend from the first game. That's the weird squishy blob thing. That's another one from the first game, the weird, like, Minotaur with orbs on it. Which evolves into a really over-designed spiky Minotaur, which I don't like. Too many details on that one, trying a bit too hard. Oh, I guess this one is like it was popular enough to have its full evolutions put in there. I like that one the best, for wings, for ears, and a weird gun on its head. The design is the most coherent of all of them. It didn't try too hard to add too many things, so something that was already complicated. Oh, I like that one, actually. I like the combination of its spiraling ears and the big plume of hair. That's nice. I don't know why its face is now yellow. I feel like if its face remained to be blue, it would probably work better as to contrast with the horns being yellow and the hair being so red. Oh, that was I think it was like one of the version exclusives of the first game. Not very good evolution. Just really like we added some details to the same basic design, and we just put a gun on top of it. Some sort of weird bazooka gun that kind of looks like I don't know, like fruitcake. That's a good evolution. I like that. Like taking a trait that was already there and like developing it into a new trait. I like that. Like taking its spiky head and saying, let's turn it into an entire jet engine for an upper torso. That's cool. Yeah, weren't you the rival guy for the first game? I can't remember. Oh, that's a good evolution. I like that. I don't know why, but the detail of its horns changing into being like a set of stringed petal type jewel thingies, that just looks really cool. Especially, again, like I said, the combination of like long, shaggy, wild hair with like curly horns, it just looks really good. That one, not so much. It's like, if anything, that feels like a downgrade from the first one. It's like you made the design more ordinary. Aside from just having the weird, like, spotty shoulders and, like, a gun for one arm, it just feels like he made it look more like a real animal. Huh, is that even... I thought it was the same design again. Yeah, all they added was they changed its pose and they just added a few spikes to it. That's kind of a boring evolution. Oh, and here's our starter. See what it turns into? It's like, it just turns into looking even more like a starter from the first game. And then, like, that's what I like, the weird glam rock version. Like, I love that. And also I like that evolution where it has like for some reason a leather jacket on and like little curly Mewtwo tails and stuff like that. That's cool. I guess this final evolution, kind of similar to the Glam Rock one, but like less cool. I'm glad they went for these evolutions instead of the level up evolution. So far, some of the level up evolutions have been like a really big letdown for the fact that you need to take more work to get them. And that was the one that was in the opening cutscene. I wonder if that's like a boss monster or something. I just like it's a nice jumpy elephant. I think my Nana would like that because she likes elephants, they're her favourite animal. It's like an elephant, but it's like it's round and it's a friend. Yeah, that evolution is kind of boring. It's just the same thing, but like we took away from some of the cuteness. That's a cool evolution. It's got like wild spiky arms. I love that. Again, that's got like the glam rock energy to it. Like that one and the other one could join a band together. Yeah, I don't like that evolution so much. Again, it's trying so hard to like be cool, but it like kind of like something again that started off having a bit of a cute and goofy appeal to it. I feel like going 100% cool is like not the best. Also, I feel like the color scheme doesn't work too well. Like there's so many different disparate elements, and having each one of them have a separate different color scheme kind of makes them stand out even more and makes you think even more like, oh, those don't really go together. They shouldn't have maybe put all of them together. Oh, that's a cool evolution where like the wild crazy back like that with all the spikes and stuff. Like that's a good example of taking like pure coolness and actually making it work. If anything, that one feels like a little underdesigned. I feel like no, obviously it's not undesigned, it has so many wild sparks in it, but the fact that it has like an over-designed piece on only one part of it kind of looks strange. I feel like if you put a belt on it or something to like have other parts of it rather than just being all green, but like with that spikes and like add some little like more yellow highlights to it somewhere or something. Oh, that's a cute little guy. I don't know what it is, but I like it. I like this trait of like having hand wings and again having like little jester ears. There's a lot of good jester core monsters in this. That's alright, that's pretty good for a decent evolution. Still kind of prefer the first one, but like again, it's a good example of like taking the elements that were already there and like expanding upon them, but not making it in a way which like looks like we didn't really think about how they would all go together. Look, that's pretty decent. It's like we expanded upon the pose it had and made it have even longer arms that are more like fins, and like now it's a water version. It's a good idea, and like having like the mohawk fringe, but like in like a cool aesthetic, like elegant way. It's neat. Oh, I like that one better. The colour scheme is good. I like that. That's good. I'm not sure why it has flappy wings though, because nothing about the rest of its design really communicates being a bird. It looks more like an evil devil type thing, which is cool. Oh, is that one like a combination evolution of the previous two? That's what it looks like. Not sure if I like that as much as those two individually, but like it does a good job of combining elements from them both into the same one. Is that possible to like combine two evolutions later in the game or something? That would be nice. Oh, I like that one. That one looks more like a fly. So it has two flying evolutions? That's strange. Because aren't they supposed to be like one evolution for the different types? Oh yeah, that's a little cutscene guy who appeared. Who was like, ooh, I'm an adorable little chicken, I'm going to turn into a big scary thing, ooh, and like ominously tell you have to do this thing for the plot. I'm assuming you're going to be like a major, like, I don't know, like a story character of some sort, like, are you like the legendary in this region or something, and you're like sealed away in a cute little form, and we have to like connect all the seeds and reopen the antenna trees to save you? That would be a cool idea. Yeah, I like that form, it's like, it's nice, it's a little scrungly guy, and I like the highlights, and the fact it's all one colour, and it's got like a little highlight on the red parts. Good colour scheme, goes well together. And not so much of a fan of that evolution. It just looks like Combustion, but with a different colour scheme. Oh, that's neat. Was that the one we saw in that cutscene where it was all like some sort of scrungly thing we couldn't really make out that was all bleeding and stuff? Like that one I like as a cutscene. It looks like it's wearing like an executioner's hood, where like it's like it kept the same trait of having a very simple face with like only the eye mask really pointing out, but now it looks ominous rather than cute because of like the changed colour scheme and like how it's been stretched out and stuff. It looks like, if anything, it looks like a Devimon version of the previous one, and that's good because Devimon is a really good villain design. It's a shame that he was wasted so much in being only in the first season of Digimon, and like he wasn't actually the final endgame villain, which had like a much more boring design, in my opinion. Or was that the one we saw in the cutscene? Because I'm sure we saw like a bunch of white and stuff rather than black. Like maybe that's like its evil evolution, and like we have to purify it to get that or something. Which in that case it'd be kind of a shame. It reminds me of Duskmon and Digimon, how like his like unpurified evil monster form was so cool, and then his purified form was just like, oh, I'm just a boring guy in Wolf Knight armor now. Oh, that was the one we saw in the cutscene. That's gonna be its final like evolutionary, like a legendary form or something. Like maybe that's a purified form, and like something like maybe it's something like it evolves into this and then evolves into that and then it evolves into that and then it turns evil, and then you got purified and it turns into this thing which like looks actually more scary but is also like super cool and stuff. That's neat. And then we're back over to a start. I didn't really talk about these, I'm not a fan of this one particularly. Again, it's like that kind of thing where it's like we had too many like abstract elements and we just sort of like shoved them together. And again, it's also got a stray pixel missing on its nose. But yeah, I really like the colour scheme actually, but aside from that, all the elements, they don't really go together very well. It's just like, we tried to make an abstract monster by just going, here's a random grab bag of things pulled out of a hat, and not really sort of like going together so well. And its evolution is just like terrifying, because like we really stretched it out now, and it's just like, why would you take something that was already like really like not going together and make it go even less together? That's evolution I like. Like that's like the better version of that. That's like, if that could be in the colours of the first one, I would prefer that a lot more. Like that's just that, but like we took away a few of like the too many elements that don't go together, and now like we have like just a few elements that do go together. And it looks more like a kappa combined with like a flying elephant head. Which is like, those are already two very silly elements, and like, you don't need to add like 5 more, but like, oh, and it's also got a big apple on its head, and it's also got a drill for a tail, and it's also got a big human mouth on the end of its nose, and it's also got lovely hair. And then it's also got spider legs, and a giant pyramid, and minotaur horns, and I'm just like, stop. This one, strange design somehow works. I know, like, a sloth, like riding around a tiny unicycle, that's adorable. But having it have like bizarre, terrifying spores coming in from his back, just like takes it from like, here's an element which is both goofy and terrifying, and I like it. The evolution, not so cool. I kind of prefer the color scheme, and like it just looks like I guess like a perfected version of that, where it's just like maybe that's what that looks like when it's not posing in that particular pose. I don't know. It's like that without spores on it, I guess. Classic little cat thing. All right, it's decent. Again, not too much to say about it. This is a design you could find in like a bunch of other monster games, whereas like I prefer to navigate towards a Telefang monster which is like more ridiculous and more like they could only be in Telefang. Like that! Like that! Like that! Oh, I love that. That's a good evolution. I like that. I like that, friend. Oh my gosh. Like, how is that an evolution though in any way? It's just like, again, it's like, it reminds me of some of the others where it's just like, we'll take like the vague face and put it on a wildly different design. Like, I like it as a cool design for a bat, but why does it evolve from a cat? And why does a plant made of bat wings, like a palm tree made of bat wings, evolve from a cat? Like, that should evolve from that, and that should be nowhere near than either of them. And then we're back over to here. So yeah, that was I feel a lot better after just going through and randomly like saying, here, I like these monsters, I like these monsters. And so that was the end of my Telefang 2 playthrough, ending on a mildly positive note with completely random monster reviews. Over 50% of the monsters in the game are absolute friend, and the majority of the other ones were just like, meh, okay, that's not my kind of thing, mediumness. Like, there was a very small amount of monster designs I actually disliked in this game, and that's really good, because like, if I did this for like one of the Pokedexes, I would probably have a much lower rating than this. Like, seriously, the designs in this game are so good, I wish the rest of the game lived up to it, alas. So to end this off, I put my top 10 faves and my top 10 unfaves, and you can enjoy those scrolling across the screen right now. And here is a fan art of Cornboy getting the hugs he truly deserves. Thank you all for watching, and keep Cornboy in your hearts where he deserves to be. Wow, I've been playing for 6 hours, and like for the last 2 hours nobody was there. I think I'm done with everything for the rest of the day.